American Nightmare has arrived. The son of a dream looking to realize his destiny in WWE. Multiple tag team and intercontinental championship reigns during his first run here in WWE. But now that the prodigal son has returned, Cody Rhodes has reached main event status.
The following is scheduled for one fall, making his way to...
Konnichiwa, minasan. I'm Great Oka United Empire. 今日は試合があった。そして彼がエンパイアの応援してくれるってよ。みんな、ブローキンテーブルポッドキャストよろしく。
I hear the battle cry under the devil's sky. The one-winged angel screams. It fuels my hopes and dreams. The best of us shine.
Oh, in that case, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Broken Tables podcast. Since Jeff's mic's not working, I'm your host, Rome, alongside my co-host, Jeffrey Vegas. Jeff, is your mic working now?
I believe it is. Check 1, check 2. Looks to be working.
All right, we're back.
Dude, if you guys had any idea the anxiety I just went through. So Windows did an update, and then Streamlabs decided to do an update. The moment before I was about to click go live, yeah, that was not a fun 5 minutes before the podcast here. But welcome, everybody. Thank you guys very much for joining us here for episode number 146, Broken Tables Podcast. We already got a whole bunch of people in chat. Wow, guys, we got Jordan, we got the Coog, we got Purpleness, we got Rome, we got Ed Weber. Man, thank you guys very much for all already being here. Dude, this was a fan-freaking-tastic episode of Dynamite. I thought this was a really, really good episode, especially for, I guess what they call like a fallout episode from the pay-per-view.
Yeah, this is an excellent episode of AEW Dynamite. It felt like a reset. It felt like a reset show, but in the best possible way. Bouncing back, after Double or Nothing. Obviously, great crowd tonight, an all-time crowd. Coach Nick was in attendance. So he made part of that, he was part of that, so kudos to him. But it was an excellent show, excellent crowd. What more can you say? I had an absolute blast throughout the entire thing, and there are some things on the show that got me pacing, shaking, excited, yelling. I'm ready to talk about it all. Would you like me to begin with the scores in round 1? Of the King's Court Invitational?
Absolutely, go right ahead.
All right, folks, here we are. So round 1 is over. I took a look at all the matches and went back through the results today, looked at the spreadsheet, everybody's picks, and I've added up all the points. There were no ties, so that's something. However, we do have some pretty clear winners, but I'm pretty pleased with how this overall went. Based off the scoring, we had so obviously Natasha, she forfeited, so the Joker kind of got a bye here. But out of the 3 matches that we did have, 2 of them were decided by 1 point.
Oh, wow.
And then the other one was kind of more of a blowout, but we'll talk about that as we get there. So let's start with the first matchup, Ed and Coach. So Ed and Coach had a really great match here. They kind of, matched up on a lot of picks, a lot of similar thinking. However, there were a few small little things. But going into it, up until the end, these guys ended up tied. However, Ed absolutely slam dunked on the bonus points. So Ed predicted that there was going to be 4 broken tables, and there were 4 broken tables.
Yeah.
And I believe that was what gave him that final point. So Ed
I
does
can't believe there wasn't a broken table in that Anarchy in the Arena match. I was shocked. That would
So
have
Ed
given me my
ends up
5.
winning the first match. Coach Nick scored 11 points, and Ed scored 12 points. So congratulations to Ed. Ed is moving on to the second round to face the winner of the Jeffrey Vegas versus Juhas match. So this one I went through, and Jeff, I got to tell you, you got beat pretty bad actually, comparatively.
Yeah, he had some really nice bonus point questions he threw out there that he nailed a couple of them.
So Juhas ended up with 11 points. My spreadsheet says 10, but I'm pretty sure it was 11. Regardless, doesn't matter if it's 10 or 11, he would still win. Jeffrey Vegas, you ended up with only 7 points here.
Womp, womp, womp.
And not only that, I'm just going to tell you, you finished dead last out of everyone in the entire tournament, including me making my picks for fun. So I have to ask you, how does it feel to be the Glass Joe of the Broken Predictions division?
Well, the tables were stacked against me to start off with when the House of Black match didn't even have an opponent, and I was not allowed to make my pick once we found out the opponent. But I still concede that I did lose the match, and I congratulate Joseph Juhas, and I hope he goes on to win this whole tournament.
Well, it's great that you said that, because I actually happen to have received a little video message for you, and I just sent it to you on Discord. If you could please play it. It is a YouTube video. But this is...
Jesus.
Yep, this is for you.
How do I even bring this up here? All right, one sec.
Jeffrey. What did I tell you? You can't beat me. You never could beat me. And look, I'm even taking a shit to prove it. Because I do this all day. No breaks. No time off. I heard you didn't even submit half of your submissions. You run the show. Nuts. I didn't even watch the show until I got home that night. But, big whoop. We all know Jeffrey Vegas is so good. It's alright. Have a seat, Junior. Whoever's up next, you're donezo. Good luck.
Well, there you have it, folks. Juhas, as predicted,
I was going to say, is he naked? It definitely sounded like the shower was going as well.
It did. That is how much of an afterthought you were to him in this tournament. I did not request him to be taking a dump.
We all saw you guys go into the NJPW show. We saw you guys on live television, national television during the pay-per-view, sitting together, cheering together. I think everyone in chat knows what happened in this tournament here. I think y'all know what happened. But good luck to Juhas in the future. Hope he takes our bracket, finishes off this tournament.
Well, yes, Jeff, it is no secret that Juhas and I have a strong respect for each other.
Ed says, damn, Juhas is the missing link.
It was great to see Juhas dispatch of the Glass Joe of our division. Which I guess in hindsight, that was kind of on me. I shouldn't have given Juhas a round 1 bye, but what can you do?
I think we all knew it was going to happen there anyway. But I got to tell you, Purpleness was extremely excited to find out the results of her match here. So I bet you right now she is probably itching with excitement. I'm hoping she's still in chat and didn't fall asleep.
Yes. So next up is Purpleness versus Coog. Now this one was a really fascinating one to kind of go back and look back on. And I gotta say, again, this was decided by 1 point. This came down to a 1 point lead. And again, the bonus points, man, it came down to some bonus points here, specifically one. So the Coug does end up winning this one with a score of 13 points to Purpleness's 12. However, I just want to give a kudos to her. She has done a phenomenal job here, made a great effort, and almost doubled the points that you had, Jeff. So, I mean...
Yeah, Purple was killing it, man.
You watch it weekly, and she does not. And if I made the round 1 matchup, you versus her, she would have fucking wiped the floor with you. And
yeah, she probably would have. It would have been great.
I'm regretting not doing that, but it is what it is.
Great.
But so that was that. And then just to run through how I did, and I guess I'll just mention how the Joker did. So the Joker and I actually both finished with 14 points, which was great. So in terms of leaderboards, because we can run through this real quick, the Joker and I both finished with 14, which was the most amount of points. The Coug finished with 13, which was technically second place. Ed with 12. Coach with 11. Wait, I left out Purpleness. I'm sorry. Purpleness with 12. Tied Ed. Coach with 11. Juhas with 10. And then Jeffrey Vegas in dead last. The race is already over. We've already all gone home, and he hasn't crossed the finish line yet. 7 points.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. It reminds me of back when we used to run the mile in high school. Everybody would be finished with like 6 minutes, 7 minutes, and I'd still be walking my 4th lap like 3/4 of the way. Still a good, 12 minutes before I was finished. It was great.
Yep, so that is the results for round 1 of the King's Court Invitational. I would like to thank the round 1 exits for their participation and the great job that they did. Obviously, Jeff, you did not do a great job, but Purpleness killed it. Coach killed it. At the end of the day, this was a very close race, minus Jeffrey Vegas.
All right. Well, thank you guys all for being here and all the people participating in the King's Court Invitational here. This is really fun. Love you guys hanging out with us and doing this. And I think we're going to get to the big news real quick. Of course, Tony Khan announced tonight during AEW Dynamite that CM Punk will be featured on AEW Collision. We got Devin Fijal in chat saying the crowd was mostly booing CM Punk. Devin, we actually have people from our chat in the crowd right now, and they said it was a super mix of boos and cheers. It just came across as more boos on the screen or on your TV because that's kind of what is a little louder in an arena like that. So I think it's great. This civil war between AEW fans is going to be incredible.
So I mean, number one, it was a mixed reaction. Most of the stuff online that I had seen from people who were in the building were saying 60-40, 60 for cheers. I think people are going to take out of these reactions what they want to take from these reactions, both positively and negatively. I mean, we've seen it. It's all over Twitter. If you're a CM Punk fan, you're looking at the cheers and you're like, yep, GOAT's back. If you're not a CM Punk guy right now, you're not a fan, you're looking at the boos like, haha, he's getting booed by the live audience. It's not just a Twitter thing. And my reaction is, shut up. No, it's like, look, okay, so I think that the choosing a side between Punk and the Elite is just the most ridiculous nonsense of all time. CM Punk's my favorite wrestler. The Young Bucks are my favorite tag team of all time. I think Kenny Omega is tied for greatest wrestler of all time, and I think Hangman Page is the protagonist of AEW. So I love all of these guys. So I'm sitting here kind of in the middle, like, I'm extremely excited CM Punk's coming back. That is my favorite wrestler of all time. And I think, we were talking in the Discord and I had said it and you just said it too. Like, the Civil War is going to be great. And at the end of the day, don't look at it whether it's a positive reaction or a negative reaction. The fact of the matter is that this guy is so polarizing, and this reaction tonight gave me chills. Because I just know what it's going to entail. It's going to be it's going to be 1 week he's the hero, and then the next week he's going to get booed. It's going to be the John Cena effect. And, you know, we can complain about why John Cena was on top as long as he was, but that comes down to, like, it's because he got those reactions. It's like, if people care, that's the point. You don't have to like everybody. You don't have to hate everybody. Like, that's kind of how it works. You like who you want, and you hate who you want. At the end of the day, you must pick Rome. Well, I mean, if I have to pick, all I'll say is, you know, for those who are on wrestling Twitter, I'm aligning with Tranquilo Club, Backup Hangman, and Tiger Style. You know, if you also my hat might not, you know, my hat and shirt probably give it away.
So the way I look at it, I'm not picking like an IRL pick, like an in real life pick. You know, that's where we don't need to pick sides. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like nobody needs to choose Phil or, you know, the real, Kenny Omega, Tyson, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is in kayfabe. Of course, we're gonna choose sides here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm obviously gonna be on Team CMFTR if that happens versus the Elite. But you know, it's gonna be great. I really think this is gonna be amazing. It's gonna be freaking awesome.
Yeah, well, in kayfabe, I am Team CM Punk. That's my guy, and I'm gonna ride that out. And like, so there's also kind of like a funny reaction, like a side discourse about like, oh, he's just like, and what's going on in the Discord with CM Punk. He's a whiny, you know, he's a diva and all that. I'm like, do you guys understand how many egos are in the pro wrestling business? How many people you watch in this business? And I'm not even just saying on the WWE side. Although, if you're gonna have anything to say about CM Punk and you're still watching WWE, I don't know how seriously I could take your opinion in terms of the content of someone's character. But we can move on from that one. But no, it's ridiculous. Like, the business is filled with egos. Whether they make it to the front page of the dirt sheets or not is, you know, up for debate. But you know, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's go ahead and get started with the AEW Dynamite review from San Diego, California. Man, this crowd's getting 6 stars, like maybe 7. This crowd was incredible tonight. Like, I was really, really surprised at how loud this crowd was at certain points. And as soon as Jon Moxley's music hit for the Blackpool Combat Club, this place lit on fire. Had Moxley, Yuta, and Claudio versus the Lucha Brothers and Bandito in a freaking amazing trios match here. They had Bryan Danielson on commentary, which is always awesome, especially during a Blackpool Combat Club match. Man, Bandito. Remember when we got to see Bandito live and he held Chris Jericho up for the 60 seconds? Bandito does this here tonight to Wheeler Yuta, and he actually physically counted out the whole 60 seconds with the crowd with one hand. So he's holding Wheeler Yuta up in this vertical suplex and counting with his other hand. Dude, that was one of the most impressive things I've ever seen live and on my television ever. It was amazing.
Absolutely. And him doing it again tonight here it's just so impressive. Bandito is so awesome. This guy is just incredible. Yeah, this was a great spot for him too, with the Lucha Bros versus BCC.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to see Bandito as a champion someday in AEW. What belt do you think would suit Bandito?
Well, he's a workhorse, so I mean, I would go with the International. I mean, the job that Orange Cassidy has done to elevate that title. Like, we talk about it. I talk about it every single week. I think that he's just done this fantastic job to elevate this belt, that when he moves and hold on, let me finish my point. I would see him going for the International. That's the workhorse belt. That's the belt that you want to see guys wrestling week in, week out with. Dancer Ed's question, and this is Black Bear Blue Raspberry Soda. I don't know if that showed up on the camera.
What kind of blue Star Wars tip milk are you drinking?
Well, so
on
Wednesdays I drink some soda, but specifically on Saturdays we drink Pepsi.
Nice. So this match was freaking amazing. We also got a Collision commercial during this one. I think that was the first time I saw the Collision commercial. I really, really enjoy that commercial. I hope the setup for Collision looks like that commercial, you know what I mean? Like the background they had behind Thunder Rosa and Miro.
So they're really pushing this, and so you said that was the first time you'd seen the commercial. Actually, so what happened to me was, so I sat down, like I had something to do today because my car basically died today. R.I.P.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I know. But so I got home, sat down. It was like around 6:30, and I turned the TV on, and TNT was on. I guess because the last thing I watched on cable was Rampage.
Yeah.
But so I turned on TNT with no wrestling on TNT tonight, and I swear to God, as I turned the TV on, a Collision commercial was playing.
Nice.
Gross. What do you mean gross? Gross about the blue raspberry or gross about the Pepsi? Because
He's
I'll
going to
give you
say
that.
both, I guarantee it.
Pepsi's kind of gross. But on
Tell
Saturdays,
you what, since they started doing the real sugar, Pepsi is not bad anymore, man. Like, give it a shot again if you haven't tried the real sugar versions.
I'd have to, because I mean, we were talking at the pay-per-view on Sunday, but I tried that Dr. Pepper with real sugar, and I was like, this is incredible.
Yeah, it's really good.
But something that I really enjoyed, getting back to the discourse about the match, and really not just the match, but kind of just where we've been at with the Blackpool Combat Club. I am just, the Pepsi part. Yeah, obviously. Okay. I was going to say, yeah, I'll give you that. When I say we drink Pepsi on Saturdays, I drink it for CM Punk. I would not drink Pepsi by choice. That's the dedication that I have to CM Punk.
He's like pouring it in the planter and then being like, yeah.
Although I can deal with cherry Pepsi. Like I'll drink cherry Pepsi on Saturdays.
Cherry Pepsi, dude.
It can't top Coca-Cola. No, you're correct.
No, it doesn't top Coca-Cola, Ed. It doesn't, but it makes it, bearable.
Oh, Juhas is here. Hello, Juhas. We so the world has seen your promo that you cut today. So that's something.
Ed says Saturday might turn into a win this summer. Saw a report that we're in for a scorcher of a summer. Might keep people inside. Oh yeah, I got you. Might be hotter than normal.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Yep. Let's continue on with this match here. We had an awesome hot tag to Rey Fenix. Man, Bandito had an amazing pop-up cutter to Wheeler Yuta. That was freaking awesome. And then Wheeler Yuta using the Busaiku knee. That was cool. Picks up the win. Wheeler Yuta picks up the 1-2-3 after the Busaiku knee. I was not expecting that.
So this is actually what I was saying before we started talking about Pepsi. I think it is so awesome how great of a job they've done to really elevate Wheeler Yuta, especially in the last few weeks. Him pinning Kenny Omega last night, him really kind of emerging as the workhorse of the BCC. Like, he does a lot of the heavy lifting in these trios matches, and you saw it again here tonight. I think it's awesome the dynamic that the BCC has kind of settled into, where you have obviously Mox and Claudio kind of being like the big guys, the big stars. Danielson's kind of taken up Regal's spot in the group, where he's always on commentary putting over the BCC and kind of getting their point across. He even calls him Man in the Mask, calls Excalibur Man in the Mask, which is a nice little touch, admittedly. And then you just have Wheeler Yuta kind of in the middle of it, just like going out there and like he's the star of the show. He pinned Kenny Omega on Sunday, and now he's pinning Bandito, and he's kind of being displayed as a star in the match.
Oh, for sure. Bandito was definitely the focus of this. I think, remember when him and Tony hugged that one time? Like, I think Tony loves him, and once he got his visa back, Tony's like, let's do this, man.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, no, I mean, I was referring more so to Yuta, but I agree that Bandito is...
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was definitely a Yuta thing, too. He got the pin again. They definitely made it a big deal that Wheeler Yuta got this pin the same way he did over Kenny Omega at Double or Nothing. Bryan Danielson even at the commentary table said, I'm going down there to raise this man's hand. And he made his way all the way to the ring to put Wheeler Yuta's hand up in the air for this. So I thought this was a great match. Great showing for Bandito and Wheeler Yuta. This is going to be great, man. I can't wait to see where this goes with Bandito. You know what I mean? I like to see him back with the Lucha Brothers rather than the Best Friends. With the Best Friends was cool for a couple of times, but I think it's much makes more sense with the Lucha Brothers.
Either or great.
All right, next up we had Alex Marvez in the back with the Elite minus Kenny Omega. He's talking to Matt Jackson, who's having his foot wrapped up in some tape. I'm pretty sure everybody has seen Matt Jackson's foot from Double or Nothing when he stomped a pile of thumbtacks. If you haven't seen our reactions video, you need to go back and see my reaction to that. I screamed like a girl, pretty much. Yeah. But basically, the Elite cut a nice promo without Kenny here. They say Kenny's not here right now. Alex Marvez says he's over in Canada, but Hangman makes it a point to correct him and say he's not in Canada. What'd you think of this? The Dark Order showed up as well in this to kind of rub it in a little bit, but what'd you think of this?
So, I mean, obviously, it's great to see the Elite, there tonight. I really loved Matt's line where Matt says, we told Hangman, we've told you that you bring out the good in us. Well, he's like, well, on the flip side, on the other side of the coin, the Elite, they bring out the worst in us. Or, I'm sorry, the BCC bring out the worst in us. Alex Marvez does ask them to comment on the rumors that Kenny Omega has fled the country, which I love the way that they put this. It's like he's fled the country, and Hangman says he has left the country. Marvez says he's in Canada. He fled the country to Canada. That's what everyone's saying. He's like he's angry, he's hurt, he's pissed off. He has left the country, but he didn't go to Canada. There is a New Japan show this Sunday, and Forbidden Door is looming. After Double or Nothing, Kenny cut a promo post-show saying that he had two guys in mind that weren't in AEW that could help him, which I would think is Ibushi and Okada. I was
going to ask you, who do you think the two are going to be? I'm going to ask Chad as well. Who do you think the two guys Kenny Omega is talking about here? I think it's Kota Ibushi, but I've seen some interesting, takes on who the second person could be. I think I'm with you on it being Okada, especially since MJF referenced Okada at the, the post-media scrum. So I really do think it's going to be Okada, but what are some other names that you think might be able to pop over from over there,
Honestly, I feel pretty confidently it's Okada. I mean, Takeshita mentions Okada in his promo tonight. So I'm gonna go with that. I think it's Ibushi and Okada. I think that the two of them are gonna be the guys.
So I saw a name that was interesting because of the situation that's going on with Punk. What about Kenta? Because you know how Kenta and Punk have always had that little bit of beef because of the, the GTS, to go to sleep or whatever you want to call it.
Well, no, that's probably why you won't see Kenta part of that, because they're building to Forbidden Door. CM Punk's not going to get involved with the Elite storyline leading into Forbidden Door. I don't see that happening.
Yeah. But, I mean, there's a lot of collision around the Forbidden Door. You know how, we're going. There's a collision right before it, and, I don't know. I'm just, that'd be wild if it was Kenta. But I do think it's Ibushi and Okada. It should be Okada. If they can land him, I really think it should be. That'd be incredible.
What do you mean? They're going to land it. Forbidden Door is in a month, Jeff. What do you mean? They're going to get a lot of...
I'm talking, if we could get Okada to actually do, a nice program in AEW for a few weeks, away from NJPW, that'd be sick.
So what they're going to do, I mean, this is just prediction, obviously. So, like I said, there's a New Japan show this Sunday. I think it's Dominion. And the Blackpool Combat Club is on the card with Shota Umino teaming with them, if I recall correctly. So what it'll probably end up being is it'll probably be Forbidden Door, it'll be a 10-man tag. And it'll be the Elite, Kota, and Okada versus the BCC and Shota Umino.
Okay.
And yes, I do include Takeshita as the BCC, even though that wasn't made official. If you listen to Don's promo, which we'll get into, it's kind of implied at this point.
Yeah, he said my new family, but we'll get there.
Yeah. Also, not to leave it out, but the Dark Order showing up, God, it makes me hate them so much. Just makes me hate them. Trying to drive a wedge between Hangman and the Bucks, and I'm just like, someone needs to just whoop your ass. Someone just needs to get the Dark Order together. I'm glad that on our ROH they're stealing Stu away. Like, good, the Righteous are stealing Stu away. Like, yeah, get away from the Dark Order. Get these guys out of here. All they do is ruin everything. They've ruined everything in AEW for years at this point. But yeah.
All right, next up we had Tony Schiavone in ring with Jay White and Juice Robinson. We had the Bullet Club Gold. I love the Bullet Club Gold. I absolutely love it. My only problem right now is, like, for the Bullet Club to only have 2 members is a little odd. I need more guys, you know what I'm saying? So hopefully in the future here we get some more members of the Bullet Club Gold. They cut a freaking great promo on the Double or Nothing 21-man Battle Royale. And then they start running down FTR in their promo here, and can only do that for so long before FTR shows up. FTR makes their way down to the ring, and dude, I absolutely loved the way that Jay and Juice were using Tony Schiavone as kind of like a human shield. They just kind of put their arms around him like buddies, but they were really using him as a human shield. It was pretty obvious. And out of nowhere, I don't know if you could see the quarters go flying, but Juice Robinson smashed Dax with a left hook to the face, and quarters went flying out of his hand. And if you're not aware of what that is, but it's called a fist pack. You put a roll of quarters in your hand before you hit somebody, and it is devastating. That's an old school, like, 80s thing. They used to do that way back in the day in wrestling, right?
Yeah,
I've seen some guys use it, like, way back in the day. I haven't seen it in a long time. But this was great. Juice basically knocks out Dax. They hit Cash with the finisher. They hit Dax with it as well. And Bullet Club Gold stands tall here for a second, but we get a save with Ricky Starks coming down to the ring. And man, Ricky Starks cuts a really quick promo standing on the top rope while Bullet Club Gold is running out of the arena. And man, Ricky Starks sounded incredible up on that top rope for that quick promo there, didn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. I thought that him coming out, making the save, wanting Jay White next week, it's awesome. It's going really well. I feel like we're going to kind of make a pivot, though, obviously. I think Bullet Club Gold versus FTR is obviously where they're going to go moving forward. I think Ricky will probably actually beat Jay White next week. That would probably be what I would assume. And they can kind of go their separate ways a little bit. Or they're setting up for
have
Forbidden
FTR
Door.
come out and do a little bit of a distraction, maybe.
Maybe.
We'll
I don't know if they would go that far, but possibly.
Yeah. All right, next up was the Tony Khan announcing Collision Saturday, June 17th. Is going to feature CM Punk. We talked about it a few moments ago when we started off the podcast, and I see you got the full set of gear on tonight. I had a feeling. I left my hat, upstairs. Man, I'm so happy right now. Like, and this reaction that you could hear from this crowd, on my screen, it sounded more like 60-40 for the boos being 60, but I think that this is going to be an absolutely incredible feud for the fans. Within the one company, we're going to have like a nice little fan civil war here. It's going to be great.
Yeah, man. Look, at the end of the day, I think picking sides in it, again, like, I think some people are being completely ridiculous with it. Like, it's crazy. But I'm
Jordan in chat. CM Punk, CM Punk, CM Punk.
Look, man, I'm just happy. All Tony Khan had to say was CM Punk, and I lit up. I was so happy. But again, the reaction, both good and bad, also got me super psyched, because like this guy is just polarizing like that, where it's like, obviously when he came back in 2021, it was like, everyone's so excited to see him, this, that, and the third, but everyone loves him. And what happened. I'm not going to sit here and try to explain that he was 100% in the right or justified, because that's not what I'm saying at all. But I'm excited he's back. He's my guy. And I'm rolling.
I like what Jordan just said. We finally get to argue amongst ourselves and ignore the WWE fans now.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I saw a really funny tweet where it was like, All right, AEW fans, Civil War starts now. P.S. WWE fans, you are not allowed to participate. This is for us. Leave us alone. I'm going to ignore all the bad and hope for the best. No, that's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying.
He's acknowledged the bad.
I've acknowledged the bad. I absolutely have. I've sat here and said many times, and people constantly forget that. Like, hey, I can still be a fan of the guy and still point out his flaws. Like, he is a flawed human being. We all are. I'm a flawed human being. I'm sorry if that upsets Ed. You know, that people aren't perfect. The guy made a mistake. He was in the I lean more towards he was in the wrong when it comes to the brawl out thing. I've said that many a times, including the day after. Yeah, I don't know how many more times I can say it, but at the end of the day, this is a business that is here for our entertainment. And I think that, I mean, I'm just speaking for myself. I'm sure others may agree with me. Maybe some don't. If you ask me what is the most entertaining version of All Elite Wrestling, it is the All Elite Wrestling that includes CM Punk and the Elite. So that's the side I'm on. I'm the side of let's get everyone in here and figure it out. And if he messes up again, then he messes up again, and we do what we have to do. And by we, I mean AEW. Like, okay, like, they're a company. That's why they should have these types of things in place. And if they don't, then that's on Tony Khan.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what you want me to say. Like, no, I'm not going to... Yes, I'm going to get excited that my favorite wrestler of all time is coming back from an injury. And an injury and drama. Yes, I'm sorry.
My Twitter feed right now is just I'm back. It's just flowing right now.
Yeah. So I you know, Ed's gonna troll, and that's fine.
Yeah, it's all good.
But yeah.
All right. Up next was Trent versus Big Bill and Swerve Strickland. And man, this match kicked ass, dude. I freaking loved this three-way dance here, man. I almost forgot to write notes. There was one point where I was just like mesmerized by what was going on. And I was like, oh shit, I need to be writing notes here. Like, I had to write a bunch of shit down real quick, but this match was amazing. Trent with a freaking moonsault off the top rope to the outside. Like, this was freaking awesome.
Yeah, I was decompressing after the CM Punk news. I didn't write anything down. It was a part
huge
that I looked up and saw. I was very happy with. It was a great match.
The double suplex off the top rope to Big Bill and like making it a big deal, seeming like he was a really big guy and they both needed to work together to get him over. That was freaking awesome. So Big Bill and Trent are on the apron, and Big Bill choke slams Trent from the apron into the ring. It looked freaking awesome. And then Swerve on the top rope does his Swerve stomp to Big Bill on the apron, and man, they both just spilled off the apron. It looked nasty, but Swerve gets back in the ring and pins Trent for the 1-2-3. I freaking loved this match, and that finish I thought was one of the coolest finishes in a three-way dance in a long time. That was one of my favorite matches of the night.
Yeah, I wish I could say that I watched this match. I did not watch the three-way dance.
Yeah, I'm sure you were on Twitter posting all about CM Punk, and
I was in the Discord. I was in Twitter. I needed time to decompress. It's like when you're watching a pay-per-view and you have that 5-star match and you're just like, I need a minute to kind of regroup.
Well, if you recorded this, DVR'd it, you should go watch it again, because man, I was in awe in some of this match. Trent is so underrated. Like, I know a lot of people know Trent is good, but dude, Trent and Swerve in this match, like, it just wow. And Big Bill too, like, so good. All right, so Swerve picks up that win there. That was awesome. Next up, we had a Statlander video package from Double or Nothing, the recap of her return and her winning the TBS championship. You know, this was great, but they need to stop with these Statlander talking like her normal person, and she needs to get into a character, because being the TBS champion, it's go time. You know what I mean?
Hold on,
Jamie's out there.
Wait a second. Rewind. What did you just say? Because I was responding to Ed. What did you say?
So I was saying they need to get Statlander into her character and not just speaking like her normal self, because now that she's the TBS champion, it's go time. Like, I don't want her just being out there like, oh, I'm so glad everyone thinks I deserve it. This is amazing. Like, that's not what I want from the TBS champion, and that's not what her look looks like. Her wearing black like that. I see the faces you're making, man. Come on, you can't deny this right here. Like, she's talking like a, how would I describe it? Maybe like, she sounds like a high school girl that made the team. You know what I mean? Like, I want her to be like, yeah, Jade was that bitch. Now I'm that bitch. Let's go. You know what I mean? Like, let's fucking go. So I'm not saying that this was bad. I'm just saying in the future, that's what I need to come out of this for sure.
I think personally, I think it's way off. Number one, I'm always going to appreciate authenticity in a promo, no matter what the tone is, especially when it feels real, and that this Chris Statlander felt real. Number two, she's a day one AEW wrestler who is, well, not day one, but a year one AEW wrestler, finally getting that win after blowing out 2 different legs. I'm completely okay with her being a little emotional in her first appearance after winning the title and breaking Jade's 60-0 streak. And yeah, I think that's a bad take personally. I think that Chris in the spot she was.
I said a little bit. I said I was okay with it here, but in the future she needs to move away from that. Like, I don't want her to continue just being like that all the time.
I mean, I get your point, but I mean, I don't know. It felt like the Chris Statlander that she's been before the injury. So I mean, I don't know. I think she went out there and had a. I think she went out there and had a kick-ass match with Nyla Rose.
Yeah, that was a great match. I'll for sure when we get there. Absolutely.
Yeah, so I mean, no, I admittedly do not agree with that take, but
see what Ed says. Says like a WWE babyface. Is that? Yeah, kind of like Bayley. Yeah, but she doesn't have that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll get there.
The difference is, hold on. So we're gonna compare someone. You're gonna say that, okay? So WWE babyface is happy to be there whether they win or lose. No matter what they're going through, they're always happy. They're just happy to be here. Yeah. There's a big difference between that and someone who has had a 2-year recovery, basically, blowing out both of her legs, to returning at a pay-per-view with a huge pop, to beating the 60-0 Jade Cargill for a title for her first championship, Chris's first championship. Mm-hmm. But that's the same. Like, come on, stop it. Stop it.
Like I said, I wasn't trying to shit on this promo at all. I'm just saying in the future, it needs to move away from that. I'm totally fine with it here tonight. I was almost expecting her to get a celebration like in ring, almost like WWE style, but I liked the match that we got a lot better than that. So,
and that was the other thing. It was the thing you're criticizing. It was like a pre-tape after the pay-per-view. I think you're putting a lot of weight onto that.
You're right. That was the same pre-tape that we got after the pay-per-view, wasn't it? We'd already seen that on like Twitter and stuff.
That was clearly filmed after the pay-per-view.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But like I said, I just want her to move away from that. I want her to become like a badass, like bring it, open challenge type thing. Let's go. Something. I just want her to be a little.
Well, she did that. She did that tonight. She had an open challenge, and Nyla Rose answered the open challenge, and she had a badass match with Nyla Rose.
So was that considered an open challenge? I just saw them announce the match. I didn't see that it was.
When they announced the match earlier, I could be wrong on this.
I could have missed it as well, so no worries.
I could have missed it, but I'm pretty sure it had said open challenge TBS Championship match.
Okay.
Versus
and Nyla Rose accepted. Nice. All right. So next up, we had the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass with Renee Paquette. They cut a freaking awesome promo here. And Bowens basically says he wants Daddy Ass to hold gold one more time in, AEW. So, do you think they're going to go after these trios titles again? Is that what they're kind of insinuating here?
No, this is kind of building up in a way that it sounded like Billy was going to chase some singles gold, and I don't know what I don't know what title he's chasing. Maybe the TNT title. That was how I took the segment anyway. I mean, it seemed like they were just like, Billy, you're the GOAT. You're one of the greatest of all time. You're a legend in the industry. You've done so much for us. It's time for us to do something for you. You deserve to hold a title one more time.
So that's why I took it as a trios thing. Like, they just lost that trios match, but they didn't pick a stipulation. So maybe they kind of shot themselves in the foot a little bit. I'm wondering if they want to help him get a belt and maybe get those trios.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. See, I just don't know if that's... Maybe they go for the trios again? I don't know. I just don't think so.
I got you. I know what you mean.
Possible, though.
All right. This was good, though. I liked it. Next up, oh, my God. Segment of the year here. Don Callis and Konosuke Takeshita are booed out of the freaking building. Well, not out of the building, but booed. This is one of the loudest reactions I have heard from a crowd all year. These boos were absolutely deafening at some times. You couldn't even hear what Don Callis was saying. We got Coach, who was at the arena tonight. He said he couldn't even hear the person next to him talking to him while these boos were going on for Don Callis and Konosuke. This was awesome, man. I did not expect Konosuke and Don to get this massive heat like this. Did you?
Yeah, you weren't expecting it?
Oh, I knew it was going to be mad heat, but I didn't think they were going to get this level. Like, this was 10 out of 10, you know what I mean, from this crowd. Like,
no, I mean,
this was turning the volume all the way up.
I mean, it was a great crowd, so it was kind of on line with what I expected based off the crowd we were given. I mean, they've screwed Kenny Omega over twice at this point. And that ending of Forbidden Door with Double or Nothing was excellent. So no, I mean, I wasn't surprised. I thought the heat was great, though. This was an excellent segment, excellent promo, and the crowd really helped make it that. Don's talking about how he's the victim, not Kenny.
Yeah.
Kenny, he says that Kenny destroyed his family, and Don says, while I may have lost a nephew, I've gained a son. At this point, Takeshita takes the mic, cuts a promo in Japanese, and what he says is, "Listen, you guys, I will destroy the Elite. I will surpass Kenny Omega. Be quiet, you cowards."
Is that what he said?
That's what he said, based off of what Twitter told me that. But, yeah.
I loved that he said it in Japanese. I actually don't want him to speak English. I want him to start shouting in Japanese. I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, so then Takeshita does speak in English afterwards, saying he will destroy the Elite, he will destroy Kenny. Don says he's going to form a new family, and they're going to cut the Elite out of all Elite Wrestling.
So good.
Yeah,
at one point in there, I think to solidify your pick from earlier on Kenny's two friends, he said Kenny is better than Okada, or he said that Takeshita is better than Okada and Omega. You know what I mean? So I think that's a little foreshadowing there.
Yeah, I do think that's foreshadowing with Okada, name dropping Okada. I think they're going to do... I mean, clearly this is going to be a blood and guts match. I know we thought that there was going to be a women's one. I don't know about the women's one as much as I did a few months ago. But, no, I think that they're going to do a 10-man tag at Forbidden Door. Or, I'm sorry, maybe even... I mean, if they bring Okada in and they bring Shota Umino in to kind of balance it out, it's more of an 11-man tag. I don't know if they're going to do that or not. That would be kind of crazy. Maybe do an elimination style 11-man tag. I think that would be pretty cool.
11 man, that'd be wild.
Yeah.
I like what Jordan says here. It's more heel of Takeshita knowing that he can speak English, but he refuses to. You know what I mean? I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that.
All right. Next up was an Arn Anderson and Wardlow promo. Arn, basically cuts his promo on biting Luchasaurus's thumb off. And he's like, look at the dude. He just chokeslammed Wardlow. What did you expect me to do? You know what I mean? And I was like, exactly, Arn, and Wardlow says, there's no limits to what he's willing to do to hold on to that TNT championship now. So I liked this. I thought it was good. It kind of gave me some confidence that Wardlow's going to hold on to that belt for a while.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that. I thought it was a good promo. Again, this is another type of situation where it's like, you do the Don Callis promo, and after that, it's just like, man, you had to follow that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, following that was tough.
Yeah.
So next up, we get the Gates of Agony and versus Darby Allin Darby Allin and Orange Cassidy. Jesus, I don't know why that was so hard. Dude, I know you're a massive fan of Prince Nana and the Embassy, but this entire group, man, that is a scary group of individuals. And these two guys from the Gates of Agony, Khan and what's the other guy's name? Toa Leoa, is that his name?
Yeah.
These guys are just absolute monsters. And they just beat the ever-living crap out of Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin for a good, 9/10 of this match. And just out of nowhere, Darby winds up hitting the coffin drop and picks up the 1, 2, 3. We had Swerve and Brian Cage, watching from ringside. This was a brutal match, man. Darby took an absolute beating. So did Orange Cassidy, man. I want to go back and watch this match again because it was actually really good. And Darby picks up that win with the coffin drop, and as Swerve and Brian Cage begin to surround the ring, looks like they're going to attack Darby and Orange Cassidy. Sting's music hits, and we get the return of the Stinger. Really awesome return here. I had a lot of fun with that. Oh, geez, just had a cat jump on my chair. How'd you feel about Sting returning here? I thought this was a good spot for Sting's return.
I mean, yeah, so they had kept Sting away to kind of coincide with the storyline that Darby wanted to take on MJF and that whole Pillars thing on his own. So it was a wise decision for them to let Sting stay home for a few weeks. Now that he's kind of moved on, they bring Sting back into the fold with it. And I think that'll be a pretty good trios match that they might do at some point.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. Ed asked whatever happened to Baby Brock and that Tom McDonald looking guy. Yeah, I think it quickly became clear that they definitely needed some work. Not sure where they are. Hopefully they're out doing some training. We'll see. I'm not sure who they're training with, if they are. Maybe somebody in chat could figure that one out for us. That'd be nice. But awesome return of Sting there. I always love that. He's basically my favorite as a kid, so always love to see Sting. Next up, we had a video package from Double or Nothing for that 4 Pillars match. That was a really nice little video package there. But we already saw that, pretty much all weekend, all over Twitter and everywhere else. Next up, Tony Schiavone was in ring, and as he began to speak, Hook's music interrupted him. I was not expecting that, and I'm not sure what they were trying to, were they hinting at him speaking to somebody else, or was this just kind of like, nope, Hook wants to talk now, whatever you were about to do ain't happening anymore?
Yeah, I think that's all it was. There wasn't anything else announced or anything like that.
All right, yeah, so I don't know what they were thinking with that one, but it was awesome the way that Hook interrupted him here. Basically, Hook comes out, and before Hook can say anything, Jose, the assistant, interrupts. He comes out with Preston Vance and Dralistico. They start a beatdown on Hook, but Jungle Boy shows up with a chair and makes the save. Jose takes the front head and arms suplex from Hook. Jungle Hook looks like they are back together. They definitely made it a point to say how good they were as a tag team. So I think we're going to get another dose of the Jungle Hook sometime in the future.
Yeah, although I have to point out that I feel like we are going to see Jack turn on Hook.
Finally go heel. I'd like it.
So you see Jack Perry last night on Sunday, and he what happens? He loses his chance at the title because he doesn't want to take that low road. He could have done it, and he probably would have won the title. He doesn't do it. And then tonight, I don't know. I feel like, again, I always feel like there's always very subtle teases. The way Jack was moving around, it kept looking like he was gonna swing at Hook.
Did it?
He would turn to Hook while Hook was facing the other way, and he would have the chair looking like he was ready to swing it for a second.
Ask Purple. I was screaming at the TV. I was like, hit Hook with the chair. Hit Hook with the chair. Hit Hook with the chair. I was yelling it, so I thought that would have been awesome if he would have took out Hook right there. That would have been a perfect time for it too.
Plus, I mean, Jack comes out in a full leather, all black leather jacket. I mean, I think he's had that look before. It's not that it's a new look or anything, but I don't know. I think that out of the 4 Pillars, while I think he was elevated in the main event of Double or Nothing, or not the main event, but the title match Double or Nothing, I think he's the one that still clearly needs the most growth. And so I think kind of maybe shaking it up with him a little bit would probably be beneficial for him. Yeah. And I think Jack Perry versus Hook would be an excellent feud to kind of have throughout the summer. And I think, yeah, Jordan said it, and I agree with that. I think Jack Perry should be the first one to beat Hook.
So, question for you: if Jungle Boy Jack Perry were to go heel, do you think that it would make sense or be cool? I guess that kind of sounds weird, but you think it would make any sense for him to reunite with Luchasaurus at any point?
Honestly, I think it would make a lot of sense for him to kind of realign with Christian Cage and Luchasaurus.
That's what I was thinking too, but the whole burial thing, it's like, it'd be tough to get around the burial thing, but it could be like, look, Christian be like, I tried to teach you, I tried to show you the way, but you refused to do it, and now he's willing to do it,
I would say, well, no, so I mean, if you remember to when they were doing the 4-pillar build-up, they did the video with like the mentors. And Christian said, like, if Jack can get out of his own way, he can be the best. Like, Christian's like, I'm not knocking his skills. And I think that could be, like, I don't know, I'm not saying that was a plant there to get the idea of the ball rolling, but I think you could definitely see it happening where it's like, maybe they do realign and Jack says, like, hey, like, he helped me grow. So, like, we fought, but, I've learned. In a negative way, but
yeah,
all the same, it says double main event. There's no such thing as a double main event. There's the main event, which is there's featured matches on a card, and I know AEW did this, and it's dumb. It's like it's something I don't like. It's like the main event is by definition the last match of the night. It is. That's just
I'm willing to accept double main events because even the UFC does that. You know what I mean? When they have two big championship matches. But, dude, somebody saying a triple main event, like, that's insanity to me. Like, that's where I draw the line for sure.
Yeah, I would say, like, word it in a way where it's like featured matches or like,
yeah,
I don't know, like the main event is. You can only have one main event because it's whatever goes on last. It's the
what
main.
It used to be is the one before the last one was called the co-main event, and then you had the main event. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, but that's still, in my opinion, I think it's dumb. I think it's like, look, like you should be trying to build up your card where the card is from top to bottom feel like a bunch of main event quality matches, and I think that's where I know WWE does like the triple 4-match main events. And AEW doesn't really do it very often, but they did it on Sunday where they did the double main event thing. And I get the idea there. But it just it doesn't work for me. It's just something that's like, well, you can hype up the match and not call it a main event. You could say it's a main event level match or a main event caliber match. You could say that. But you can't be like, here's our first of 2 main events of the evening. It's like, no, well, the main event's the last.
Yo, Jordan said, when Jungle Boy drops the Christian help me become the man my father didn't line.
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit. That's going to be incredible.
That's what I'm saying. That's the play right there. That is the play.
That'd be rough to get those words out. You know what I mean? Like, all right. Next up, we had The Outcast with Renee Paquette backstage. I loved this heel promo from The Outcast here. Basically, Tony Storm was saying that the fans are lucky to have them. They're like, the AEW fans are the lucky ones. They're lucky that we're here and that I'm the champion. I'm going to be a fighting champion. She's going to be performing at the house show. She had that stint a couple of weeks ago where it was true, Rome. I don't know exactly how, but she had 4 matches in 5 days. She is their workhorse right now. So I loved this little promo here from The Outcast. What about you?
Yeah, it was. I really enjoyed it. They have such a great look going too. I love the green theme. It's great. It's really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was an excellent promo from Tony Storm, and yeah, I would like to see where the Outcast storyline's going next, because again, I think we're just it's really drawing out, and there hasn't been a lot of forward momentum, which has been a shame because it's been a lot of great matches in this storyline. It just doesn't feel like it's going anywhere.
Yeah. We shall see. All right, next up was the TBS Championship. Nyla Rose, like you said, accepted a open challenge from Chris Statlander. This match was really, really good, and it put to bed any doubts that I had on Statlander, you know, maybe having some stamina issues or any sort of, you know, rust getting back into the ring. She looked incredible here. She had a great match with Nyla Rose. They were telling a little bit of a story in the match of Statlander trying to body slam Nyla Rose. She couldn't quite pick her up at first. Nyla Rose, you know, reversed it a couple of times on her, but eventually she did pick up that awesome body slam onto Nyla Rose. Dude, there was a spot in this when they were outside. Nyla Rose throws Chris Statlander into the barricade, and Nyla Rose hits that cannonball into the barricade. Dude, that looked like it would have absolutely destroyed me. It would have destroyed me. I would not be getting up after that. I'd be like, I'm done. Somebody count me out. 10, 20, whatever you want to count. I'm done. I really enjoyed this match. It's been a long time since I've seen Nyla Rose on like a main event of Dynamite, and she did fantastic here. I thought this was a great match here for Nyla to make her main event, you know, return, I guess would be the word. But after a choke slam and only picking up the 2.9, Statlander hits a nice jawbreaker, and then she hits a freaking amazing 450 splash onto Nyla Rose, picks up the 1, 2, 3. And throughout the entire match, we had Taya Valkyrie watching, and, you know, after the match as well, Taya was looking a little angry off to the side there. So I guess we're going to have Taya Valkyrie be her next opponent. Does it feel like that for you as well? I mean, kind of obvious, right?
Yeah, I think that's going to be her next opponent. Jade's going to be taking some time off. I thought Chris Statlander looked like a star tonight. I thought it was an excellent match from her. Yeah, it was a great match. It was not the main event. He said it was the main event. It wasn't the main event, but it was...
Oh, my bad. Why did I say that? Yeah.
Yeah. But no, it was a great match. It was awesome. Happy for her. Happy she's back. And like she said...
Co-main event. Happy for Nyla co-main eventing Dynamite again. Yes. Thank you.
Jesus. But no, it's awesome to see Statlander saying that, like, hey, I'm the champion, and I'm gonna run with this, and I'm gonna defend the title. And then she does it here tonight against Nyla. Really enjoyable match. And yeah, I'm excited to see where she goes from here.
Yep, me too. All right, next up we had a video package essentially recapping most of Double or Nothing, but focusing on the Adam Cole and Chris Jericho match. This was really nice here, but obviously they were setting up for what was the actual main event of Dynamite. Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and Adam Cole versus Chris Jericho and Saraya. Dude, I did not think this was going to be a good match. I don't enjoy intergender matches very often. Usually they're decent. They are what they are. I get through them and I'm like, okay, that was fine. Whatever. This, I almost feel like it had no right to be as good as it was. Like, it was really, really good in my opinion. And even though, like, we had Ed in Discord saying that, you know, I thought Adam Cole versus Jericho should have been over with, which I do somewhat agree with here, but we kind of still have the Outcasts and Britt Baker's crew going at it. And now that Adam Cole and Jericho are kind of part of that a little bit, it still has a little bit left to go, I guess, but it should focus on that feud instead, like the Britt Baker stuff. I really, really enjoyed the interaction between Britt and Jericho in this. Like, Jericho had Adam Cole in the walls of Jericho for a long time, and I thought Adam Cole might actually tap out at one point, but Britt gets in, and she locks in what looked like the mandible claw just for a few moments on Jericho, and then she put him in the full-blown lockjaw. I loved this spot. I absolutely freaking loved it. Saraya came in, of course, and interrupted it. Man, I thought it would have been great if Britt had actually picked up the win with lockjaw against Chris. That would have been insane to me. But I did really enjoy what they kept going on here. A code breaker to Adam Cole only picked up a 2.999. Saraya, she hit her big finisher. I don't know what she calls it anymore. It used to be called the Rampage when she was Paige. I don't know what she calls that right now. But Adam Cole and Britt Baker with a super kick party to everyone. Super kick to Jericho, super kick to Saraya, and then a double super kick to Jericho. After the double super kick to Jericho, Adam Cole hits the boom and picks up the 1, 2, 3. Dude, like I said, I think this was better than it had any right to be. Like I said, I do agree with Ed that this thing with Jericho and Cole should be over, but it was what it was, and I loved it.
Yeah, so, look, the more I've marinated on Double or Nothing, and I actually went back and watched like most of it today. The Cole Jericho match, really outside of the Sabu spot, it wasn't very good. It didn't gel. It didn't flow very well. The ending was anticlimactic and overall the ending really killed it. The crowd didn't help. There was a lot wrong with this match on Sunday. Like you, I'm not a fan of the mixed tag matches, mostly due to the mandatory tags. The same reason why I don't like the three-way dance tag team matches, just because the psychology just doesn't check out with me. It's like, why are they trying to get a hot tag if one of them, if both guys are trying to do a hot tag to the girls, what's the point of the hot tag? Because as soon as one gets in, they both are automatically legal. And then sometimes they have to tag the other person in, but then other times they don't. They just kind of roll with it. So, it doesn't really usually work with me. But I think a mixture of the crowd being good tonight, the participants in the match involved doing a great job, and yes, I think that Saraya was also pretty good tonight.
She was really good.
She was. I'm of the opinion, and I know Ed's going to disagree, and some people may disagree. I think that the way that they're using Saraya right now is really smart, where you don't need Saraya wrestling all the time. And you don't even need Saraya to be the center point of the Outcasts. Just let her kind of be there and do her thing and wrestle every once in a while. I like the way they're using her. That's me personally. But I thought she did really good in this match. I thought everyone did a great job in this match. So between the people in the match, between the crowd, I thought this was a great match. It was way better than the match they had on Sunday. I'm talking about Cole and Jericho, like way better. And yeah, it was great.
Yeah, Saraya and Britt really impressed me here tonight. You know, there was a couple of matches where Britt looked like she was falling off just a tad, and man, she looked really, really good here tonight. The DMD was definitely back in full form in her championship. She was in championship form like back in the day. So that gives me a lot of confidence for the future here. This women's division is looking really good. And man, we're just at the beginning of all the girls coming back over from Japan. These next couple months with all our Joshi girls is going to be freaking fire, dude. I can't wait.
I'm sorry, I just saw something on Twitter I got to check out after we're done.
Oh, you're good. Well, that is it for the Dynamite review. I thought this was a freaking fantastic Dynamite. I'll be giving this like an 8, maybe an 8.5 out of 10 on my scale of to 10. I thought this was an excellent episode of Dynamite. What's up, Michael Duke in the chat? Again, thank you everybody for hanging out with us tonight in chat. Had a whole bunch of you guys. Rome, what do we got lined up for Rampage this Friday? Because Coach has been absolutely raving about it in Discord. Apparently this Rampage is incredible.
Well, it is in fact an incredible episode of Rampage. I would just like to kind of close with thoughts on Dynamite real quick. I think that it's been about an hour 20 minutes afterwards. I think this is a prime candidate for like one of the better shows of the year so far. Oh, yeah. I think this probably might be like a top 2, top 3 Dynamite of the year. I think that there was just Like, look, I'm a promo heavy guy. I'm never gonna be upset about a promo heavy show, and that's what this was. But at the same time, they had some excellent wrestling matches in between the opener, the closer, the TBS title match. Just an excellent show that I had a blast watching.
Yeah.
But moving on, plus CM Punk's back. I don't know if you heard. Moving on to the Rampage card. It is Championship Weekend, or Championship Friday on Rampage. For the AAA Mega Championship, El Hijo del Vikingo will be defending his title in a three-way dance against Dralistico and Commander. Willow Nightingale will be defending her New Japan Strong Women's Championship versus Emi Sakura. Zack Sabre Jr. will be making his national television debut, defending his New Japan Pro Wrestling World Television Championship against Action Andretti. For the Ring of Honor Pure Championship, Katsuyori Shibata will be defending against Lee Moriarty. Coming up for Dynamite this Wednesday, we have Ricky Starks versus Jay White. Juice Robinson and FTR will be banned from ringside. And we have for the AEW International Championship, Orange Cassidy versus Swerve Strickland.
Dude, Shibata, oh my god. So, if there is anybody from Japan that I absolutely just love to watch in the ring, it's Katsuyori Shibata. This dude is like the Bryan Danielson of Japan. I can't wait to see him versus Lee Moriarty. That's going to be sick.
So, yeah, I mean, between this Dynamite and the Rampage card we have coming up, Jeff, would you like to know how I've felt tonight?
I would.
I don't know how this is going to sound on the microphone, but I'm just going to play this. There you go. Did that pick up at all?
I don't think I heard anything, no.
Okay, never mind then. It was the Isaiah Cassidy moaning on top of the shed from...
I'll do it for you.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. I got to get that on I'll get that on a button for you, where you can just hit a button on your keyboard and it'll do it.
Yeah, just every Saturday we'll do it.
All right. Is there anything else that you would like to talk about besides the return of the one, the only, the GOAT, CM Punk?
Look, man, I'm just really happy he's back. That was a great moment. When they said this morning, they were like, Tony Khan's going to be making an announcement about the debut. I was just like, yep, it's the night. Tonight's the night. It's the worst kept secret in wrestling.
Yeah.
But,
I think once they looked at the ticket sales where they had only sold about 9,000, I think they were kind of like, all right, let's just announce it. Let's see if we can sell the rest.
Yeah, it's been kind of weird. I mean, I guess it's just oversaturated markets, but
it's
a lot of
playoffs time. You know, it's playoff time all over the country. Like, you know, I
get
don't know.
that. No, see, I get that, but it has been interesting what we've seen with a lot of these towns that AEW has ran since year one that are usually really good towns aren't doing as well. And the thing is, they haven't been back to Chicago since... what, December? Oh no, wait, they were in Chicago following Revolution, so I think they were in Chicago in March. So to be fair, it's only been like 3 months. But Vegas kind of being a bad crowd last week, both at Dynamite and at Double or Nothing, was really surprising to me. I think it's time to move Double or Nothing out of Vegas. I mean, I know that you want to do the whole casino theme and everything, but there are other places that have casinos. I mean, Philadelphia's got like 4 casinos. Yeah. So I don't know. I think it's time to kind of reevaluate that. And I don't know, the Chicago thing is weird because I think they're going to sell I don't think they're going to sell more tickets with Punk being officially announced. I'm still of the opinion that most of this stuff that we've been reacting to has been a work, which is why I also still think that the reacting to CM Punk, the drama, the way that some people are, where it's like, well, this is who he is and this is what it is. It's like, I think most of it for the record is a work. I'm still not 100% convinced that the brawl out itself wasn't a work. Like, I just don't know if I 100% believe that still. And, you know, maybe I'm naive, I don't know. But that's where I'm at with it. So I think that they kind of, if it is a work, I think they shot themselves in the foot a little bit, where I think the Chicago ticket sales are kind of like, some people were waiting to see if he was going to be announced officially.
Yeah. I really think they want to see the card too. You know, people are like, listen, I know he's going to be there, but what's Collision going to look like? Give me a little bit of, you know, what's the cake I'm going to be eating look like, you know?
Also, to be fair, to a point that Ed has made in the past that he's not wrong about, Saturday is a rough night. It's a weekend night. People usually make plans on the weekend. It's not totally unbelievable that tickets are going to sell a little less on Saturday nights. I mean, that's just kind of a fact. I mean, it makes sense. You know, it's not a pay-per-view on a Saturday. But yeah, go ahead.
Question for you here. Changing the subject a little bit here, going on to the AEW Fight Forever video game. Jordan put it in the chat. Did you see that the Stadium Stampede match is an option in Fight Forever?
Yeah, that's been known for a little while now. Yeah, that's not. I
can't wait for this game.
Yeah, it's not technically news. That's why I haven't really talked about it, because that came out like last year that it was going to be in the.
Yeah, the newest thing we got, Jordan, is today they released videos for Nick and Matt Jackson and Eddie Kingston. And, you know, that screenshot that we had floating around that showed Eddie Kingston looking all busted, like, you know, looked really bad. It was exactly what I thought it was. Somebody took a screenshot at the worst possible angle that you could. I think that was a malicious screenshot, to be honest with you, but we'll leave that alone. The Eddie Kingston reveal looks incredible. Did you watch it, Rome? Did you watch the full minute video?
For Eddie, you said?
Yeah, for Eddie. Well, for any of the three, actually. The Matt and Nick Jackson, too.
I watched like little snippets. Look, man, like I've seen enough of the game. I don't really feel like I need to see much more. I'm just kind of ready to play it. So I knew that they put those out today, but no, I didn't watch any of them. Like I think I saw.
They're only a minute long each. There's only about 30 seconds of gameplay for each one of them, but you can see. It looks like Matt Jackson doing his moves. It looks like Nick Jackson. Like, and I'm not just talking about the character model. Like, the way that the character moves actually looks like that guy doing the move. And when Eddie Kingston, when you see it, his back fist and everything, like, it literally looks like Eddie Kingston is actually doing it. This game is going to be fantastic. I'm putting a mark on it right now. I'm going to guarantee this game is good. Guaranteed.
Oh, no, I think this game is good too. Like I said, I've seen enough. I've been, for lack of a better term, I've been a student of the games industry for a long time, and I usually feel like I have a pretty good grasp on like whether a game's going to be good or not. Doesn't mean I'm perfect, but no, I mean I think this game looks great. I think it looks like it's a lot of fun. It looks like it's exactly what they're trying to do. You're expecting a simulation game. It's not going to be that.
No. It's not a UFC game, you know. It's not a 2K game.
It's not going to be anything like that. It's an arcade wrestling fighter game. If you've played the N64 games, if you've played No Mercy, if you've played, I think it's WrestleMania 2000. I think, I don't know. No Mercy is the only N64 WWE game that I played.
People are saying it really feels like the No Mercy. They're like, if you've played No Mercy, you're gonna feel it in this, you know.
Yeah, and I think that's what they're going for, and that's what they want. I think the gameplay looks fun. I think the roster looks amazing. We don't know the full roster yet, but I'm excited for that. I think that they're going to continue to support the game into the future. So, in fact, we know that for a fact, because we know that FTR I don't think they're in the game, or the Acclaimed are in the game, but they've both said that they're coming in the future. So
we thought they took CM Punk out because they took him off the cover, but we've seen his character model now. We've seen him, you know, so we know he's in it.
Yeah, I mean, Cody's still in it, so.
Yeah. That was actually Kenny's thing. Kenny said he really wanted to make sure Cody was still in the game.
Well, I'm glad he did, because when I need someone to just beat the crap out of in the game, I'm going to be facing Cody like 85% of the time when I'm playing Exhibition. Like, it's just going to be like Britt Baker versus Cody Rhodes, Sheeta versus Cody Rhodes, CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes, etc., 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 etc.
So during our Game Room podcast, the Coug had asked, who are you going to use as your first, you know, wrestler to go win the championship? And I said Kenny Omega just because, like, I couldn't wait to do some of the Kenny Omega moves. But Coug, once I thought about it, it's not. It's gonna be CM Punk. I'm gonna be my first match will be CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes.
Yeah,
and I will be turning that mat red with Cody Rhodes' freaking blood. So
yeah, I'm gonna help Cody. I'm gonna help Cody finish the story.
If I have to unlock blood somehow and I don't get to have blood in my first match, I'm going to be upset.
I don't think you're gonna have to unlock blood. That would be kind of.
I mean, like maybe have to play a little bit in order to get to the point of some sort of match like that. But I doubt it. Just give me all the choices right off the bat.
No, they clearly want you to kind of have fun with this game. It's clearly kind of meant to be a bit of a party game. There's no way they're gonna make you have to unlock blood.
Yo, Jordan's got an amazing idea. The back of the game should just have all kinds of wrestlers pummeling Cody. It's perfect.
That is pretty funny.
All right. Well, I think that is going to do it for us here tonight. Rome, do you want to go ahead and close us out, sir?
Absolutely. Well, this has been episode 146 of the Broken Tables podcast. Thank you to everyone hanging out with us here tonight on the chat. Thank you to Jordan, the Coog, Ed, Purpleness, Coach Nick, who's currently enjoying an excellent episode of Rampage. Thank you to Michael Duke for popping in. Everyone else that stopped by, thank you so much. We will be back on Friday night for our Rampage review. I will be here Friday night, Jeff. And then we will be talking about video games the following week on Monday nights on the Game Room podcast. I don't necessarily have a topic planned, but just, maybe by Friday I'll have something ready to announce. So, if you like pro wrestling and you like video games, this is the place you want to be, because we're always talking about those two things. Follow us on our social medias, which is in the description down below. Follow us, or join our Discord, excuse me. And make sure everyone goes into the Discord and congratulates Jeff for being at the bottom of the King's Court Invitational leaderboards, and also in his first round exit. Round 2 is now happening. Forbidden Doors on the horizon, and we will be talking about the second round in the coming weeks. But until next time, see you guys.
Well, thank you very much, Rome. And like he said, until next time, top guys out.